The story begins with some footprints trailing a little girl who stops to look back with a scary look. The next day in a kindergarten, with the kids playing around, a little girl who is playing on the swing asks her friend to push harder. Just then, a hand pushes her and she falls down. This shocks everyone. Just after that, their teacher Chi puts an ice pack over her head. She says kids are falling off the swing very often. Teacher Akira says it is normal for kids to fall, but Chi says this is the 5th time they have fallen. Right then, children start screaming that Kaya is fighting again, and Kaya stands before a swing stopping a boy from using it. The boy insists that he really wants to swing, but Kaya tells him you can't. Just when Chi shows up, she tells Kaya to stop bossing around, which makes her grumpy. Some teachers gossip among themselves that Chi is a new teacher and got stuck with Kaya. Hopefully she would handle the pressure of dealing with her. As Chi tries to lecture Kaya, she runs away and Chi goes after her. Right then, the boy sees no one is around and jumps on the swing. As soon as he starts swinging, a creepy hand pushes him, and without knowing who is there, he asks it to push again until he is pushed too high. He freaks out. He begs, "Don't push me." Just then Kaya appears, grabbing the chain of the swing to stop it, knocking the boy off. She tells him to get away from the swing, but the boy thinks she was the one pushing him. However, as soon as Kaya sits on the swing, she is pushed with tremendous force, and the boy realizes it wasn't Kaya who pushed him. Without changing any expression, she gets high on the swing. At that moment, a dark stain appears on the ground. A monster with a huge mouth emerges, with hands coming out of it, pushing Kaya with absolute force. As she falls from the swing, she reveals her actual power, and lands a powerful punch on the monster, wiping him off instantly. That's when we discover that Kaya is a powerful psychic. After defeating the monster, Kaya extends her hand to the boy and asks him, "Let's swing together." But the poor boy runs away, saying Kaya is scary. Kaya gets sad and says, "I am not scary." Teacher Chi sees everything, and we get to know that she can see the monsters as well. Later we see a girl in a library playing "Where are you? Where are you?" in a peekaboo book. She is really happy with the game. Just when she opens the next page, something dark flows out of the book, corrupting the girl. At the same time, Akira receives a call from one of the parents saying their daughter won't come today. So she goes to tell Chi, but she sees Chi and Kaya in a tug of war over the book a little girl was reading, and the girl storms out saying, "I hate you, Kaya." When Chi turns around, Kaya has already dropped the book. Chi gets exhausted and Akira tells her not to worry too much or else she will burn out. She wonders, ever since Kaya defeated the monster, no one has gotten hurt over the swing. She wonders if the book also has something fishy. When she opens the book, she notices Kaya has taped one of the pages. She runs out and finds Kaya has taped several other books. She grabs the book from her hand. "You can't do it." Chi then yells at her, "Kaya, bring back all the books you messed up." The scream is so loud even other teachers hear it. Seeing the number of books she taped, Chi gets discouraged. Kaya tells her none of them can be opened and runs away. Chi gets frustrated, saying all Kaya says is, "This can't be done without telling me the reason." She sees a book lying there. She decides to open the books, although she remembers what Kaya said, but still she can't leave the books like that. As she pulls off one of the tapes, Kaya senses it immediately and comes running to stop Chi. While Chi remembers how she used to play with these books when she was a kid, she decides to play a little. When she turns the page, a monster's face appears in front of her. She throws the book away out of fear. Just then, a monster emerges from inside the book, leaving footprints on the floor, and gets closer to Chi, and comes face to face with Chi, who is scared to death. He is about to attack her when Kaya hits him with the book, finishing him off instantly. Kaya tells her, "That's why I was saying not to open it." Chi asks her, "Did you know this would happen?" She confirms with a nod, just when another teacher comes there to take Kaya, and she starts dragging her back to class. Kaya points her finger, saying opening those books will be bad. Chi gets shocked to learn that means all the books have monsters. Following Kaya's order, she gets rid of those books, throwing them on the street. Later, the principal sees the books and picks them up again and leaves. The morning when Kaya is ready to leave for school, Dad says, "My head is aching." Kaya sees a monster attached to him, so she touches him, destroying the monster. Outside, Kaya waves at her mom's bedroom window, but all we see is a dark window. Walking with her dad, Kaya notices several monsters, even pulling her dad aside. At school, a child screams desperately in one of the bathrooms to open the door that's locked. Chi appears there and frees him. He hugs her and cries out. Next, Akira warns the children not to use the middle bathroom as it is getting locked by itself. Kaya stares at the bathroom. Right then, a little girl comes running. "Kaya, let me use the bathroom first." She says go ahead, but this one is blocked. The little girl asks Kaya to watch out as she uses that bathroom, but Kaya refuses immediately, saying teacher will get mad. The little girl goes in anyway and says if I get locked in I trust you will save me. Inside the bathroom she releases herself, but when she tries to open the door she gets trapped. When she thinks about opening her mouth for help she remembers Kaya will call the teacher, so she decides not to yell. But then she thinks if I stay here I will turn into a skeleton. She panics and tries to open the lock. When the door opens a bit, a monster shuts it again. Usually doors open from outside. But what if there is no one to open it? The monster keeps saying from outside no one will open the door. No one. The girl's legs start to tremble because of fear. At that moment Kaya bursts the door open with all her strength. She asks her to move away and remembers the girl actually asked her to help. She actually holds the monster by the face and flushes him inside the toilet with a smile on her face. The little girl returns with teacher Akira. Seeing the mess in the bathroom she asks Kaya, what did you do? The girl sneaks away thinking she might get blamed. When Akira asks why did you do that, Kaya realizes telling it was the work of a monster never worked, so she doesn't say anything. Akira scolds Kaya just when Chi appears and says it was all my fault. I am the one who broke the door. She gets scolded by Akira and ends up cleaning the bathroom. Kaya asks why did you lie to her? She says, Akira will never believe it was a ghost who did it. Kaya says if you can see the monsters too, maybe others will understand it. Chi says I don't see the monsters. Kaya suspiciously asks then how do you know it was a monster? Chi smiles, because I believe in you. She continues, I know you are protecting everyone, that's why I am protecting you. Just then the little girl appears. Kaya hides behind Miss Chi, but she places Kaya in front of the little girl whose name is Mai. Mai apologizes to Kaya for leaving her behind and says thanks for saving me. Kaya finally hears appreciation from someone for saving them from monsters. At the end of the afternoon kids say bye to the teachers and leave. Kaya's dad comes to pick her up and she jumps into her dad's arms. She says goodbye to Chi. Chi wonders why is it always Kaya's dad picking her and never her mom. Akira implies something very serious has happened to her mom. When Kaya gets home, she runs upstairs excited to see her mom. But when she opens the door a giant eye appears in front of her and she immediately gets discouraged. That's when we discover there are things that even the powerful Kaya can't defeat. A few days later teacher Akira takes kids for a walk around in the neighborhood near the school when a girl named Saku notices a suspicious window in a house. When she looks keenly she notices a creepy face in the window and freaks out. She sees that face every single day during their walk. Later she tells all her friends about that ghost in the window. But a boy named Ken doesn't believe her at all, calling it a fairy tale, even calls her a liar. Saku gets pissed and slaps Ken, saying just because you can't see, it doesn't mean it's a lie. Hearing this Kaya gets amazed by Saku's words. Saku says yeah, I am amazing because I can see the ghosts. Then Kaya says she can see them too, which surprises Saku. Saku gets super excited and says since we both can see ghosts we can definitely convince others that ghosts are real. The next day while walking, Saku and Kaya hold hands and Saku explains that the ghost is in nearby house. At that moment some mysterious being watches them from behind. When they reach the spot, Saku shows the ghost to Kaya and asks, do you see that? Kaya says yes, but unlike Saku, she is seeing a completely different ghost that appears in front of Saku, but she can't see it, so Kaya kills him with a punch. Kaya asks her if she is okay, that leaves her confused. Finally Kaya sees the ghost at the window. Chi comes there asking what are you two doing here? Kaya says she just defeated the ghost but it's still at the window. Saku convinces Chi to look at the window. As she looks her face completely changes. Soon after that all the teacher gather around Chi, who seems disturbed. That's when we know that the face they see in the window wasn't a ghost but actually a person who just died. Kaya and Saku being kids don't understand it, so teachers decide not to tell them this truth. The next day Kaya and her dad head to the school, but a mysterious man seems following them. At school teachers receive a notice that a suspicious man is roaming around the area and they need to stay alert, because there have been many cases of children disappearing lately. The report says children were missing for whole day and returned back saying they were with their mother. The principal asks teachers to be extra vigilant since that day they were going to park with children. After few hours kids arrive to the park and Akira tells them not to go too far and not to follow any strangers. But behind the tree we once again see a mysterious being. A little girl puts a flower tiara on Kaya. Kaya appreciates her skills. The girl's name is Yuzu and she says her mom taught her. Hearing the word mom, Kaya gets sad. Kaya then asks Yuzu to teach her how to make this tiara, and she agrees, so Kaya starts picking the flowers, but when she turns around Yuzu has disappeared. In the forest, worried about Yuzu, she runs into the forest, but again someone seems following her. Chi immediately notices Kaya and Yuzu are missing and runs off to find them. Kaya finds Yuzu and says Miss Akira will be mad at them. Yuzu says she heard her mom calling her from the forest, and then her mother appears. She then introduces Kaya to her mom. Listening to her voice, Kaya realizes that woman isn't Yuzu's mom. Woman tells Yuzu to leave, but Kaya grabs her hand and stops her. She tells her she is your mom, but you can't go. So woman leaves Yuzu's hand and keeps calling her. Yuzu gets irritated, but Kaya doesn't let go her hand. Just when Yuzu is about to hit Kaya, a huge monster appears there. Chi shows up there just then. She notices the monster about to grab the girls, so she runs to protect them. She immediately grabs the guy's hand, and with all her strength she takes down the guy who was extremely heavy. She then picks up Kaya and Yuzu and run as fast as she can. Meanwhile, the guy Chi took down gets up and leaves. Back in the park, Akira gets mad because she and two girls disappeared, but Chi tells her she saw a suspicious person. Shortly after, at school, Akira tries to understand what happened in the forest. Yuzu tells her I saw my mom there, and Kaya says Miss Chi striked a guy. Just then the principal arrives to ease the situation and tells the girls they must always stay close to their teachers. At the pickup time, Yuzu's mom comes to get her, and when asked if she was at the park, she denies it. Meanwhile, Chi thinks although Kaya said the man in forest didn't do anything, but still was it a good idea not reporting him. Right after, Chi gives Kaya a pocket alarm. She explains if a bad person gets too close to you, this alarm will buzz loudly. So Kaya pulls the ring and buzzes the alarm to check if it's working. Later in the afternoon, Kaya's dad comes to pick her. Chi says she will be coming out shortly, and as Kaya comes, her dad calls her to come out with the shortcut, so she climbs over the school fence. Right then her friends show up and say you can't leave like this. Kaya says she is with her dad, so it's fine. That's when we realize it's not her dad but someone else. The boy says Kaya was all alone. Her real dad is waiting for her when the boy come running complaining that Kaya left already. Kaya sees her real dad, and that's when she realizes it's a monster holding her hand. After that, Chi immediately runs to look for Kaya, realizing something is wrong because she knows Kaya wouldn't do something like that. Meanwhile, she thinks about using the alarm but quickly changes her mind, and she uses her power and crushes the monster's hand. But just after that, monster turns into Kaya's mom and says she came to get her out of school and fixes her hair. She holds Kaya's hand and calls her to go home, and Kaya is fooled by the monster, but at this moment the mysterious man from before appears. He shoots some holy water at the monster, which makes it scream in pain, and he explains that this monster is soul kidnapper of another world, who kidnaps kids and take away their souls. Seeing this, Kaya gets really pissed, and by a single slap she vanishes the monster. The guy introduces himself as mom and says this is for the third time we are meeting, saying you have saved me in past. Kaya doesn't remember him, so she simply sets off the alarm. Chi immediately hears it and runs to Kaya. Seeing the same guy, she gets irritated, but Kaya protects him, saying he didn't run away from alarm, so he is not a bad person. Mob says Kaya have saved him when she was very little. He says he is very grateful to Kaya. Just then Kaya's real dad appears. She runs into his arms and then they both leave. Mom then introduces himself to Chi and gives her his business card. He asks her to call him later because he needs to discuss something about Kaya. Chi becomes even more suspicious of that guy. Sometime later, Kaya is at school casually drawing with her classmates. While Chi seems lost in thoughts, she remembers the guy who gave her his card. She did some research on him and found out everything the guy said was true, but she sees a sketchy photo online of that guy. Scared, she threw her phone away. Back in present, Chi concludes she need to protect Kaya from that guy. She notices Kaya's drawing and say it's super cute. Happy, Kaya says I am gonna color it and runs to grab some color. When she opened the box, she notices the black crayons are missing. Other kid also says there are no black crayons in the box. Chi and Akira notices it's a weird situation, and kids even start suspecting a thief. Chi notices that Yuzu is acting strange. When she questions her, she tries to sneak away, but since she couldn't lie, she reveals her brother had bunch of black crayons. Akira and Chi heads to first grade classroom where the little boy whose name is Ken painted all over the mirror. His teacher Maro apologizes to Akira. Maro explains to Chi and Akira that Ken is just like Kaya, a problem child. When Chi asks Ken why did he do that, he says, this mirror is scary. Maro talks in very arrogant tone that Ken keeps saying scary scary but doesn't tell why, and concludes that Ken is just baby and is not fit to be in class. Akira tell her she shouldn't be speaking like that to kids, after which Maro speaks more gently to other student, saying please forgive Ken. Akira says the way Maro talks is weird and I will talk to her about it. Meanwhile, Ken looks at Mirror in fear. Later, Chi is working overtime, taking care of Kaya when Maro shows up and says she has to clean up mirrors that Ken messed up, and says we both are stuck with problem children. Hearing this, Chi expects there must be something weird with that mirror, and fearing worse, she offers to help Maro, but she refuses. Next, Maro starts cleaning, but when she wipes glass with the cloth, a terrifying monster appears. He grabs her neck, making her scream. As Scream reaches Kaya and Chi, she runs to save her. When they arrive in room, Monster is pulling Maro's leg as if it wants to drag her inside, but Kaya kicks Monster, which then retreat back in Mirror, saving Maro. As Maro recovers from the shock, Kaya notices something weird about Maro's reflection. The name and design on her cloths are flipped. The next day, Maro seems completely different from her usual behavior. She even apologizes to Ken and Yuzu for what she said a day before. Chi is impressed by Maro's huge personality change and says she expected nothing less after lecture from Akira. But Akira says she haven't even talked yet. But Maro seems different person now. At that moment, two hands bangs from inside the mirror, desperate to get out. Later, everyone heads to swimming class and Chi is just as excited as kids. Saku shows off her cute swimsuit that her mom bought her, and looking at Kaya, they notices she is fully dressed. Kaya says she doesn't want to get sunburned. Just then Ken shows up and start making fun of Kaya, but little girls doesn't let him bother her and chase him away. Meanwhile, Akira calls kids to do warm up before going in the pool, and Kaya notices Ghost right above pool. Soon after, everyone is having fun except Kaya because she hates pool, and also she can't swim. She sits on edge of pool and Ken shows up again to make fun of her. Saku asks her, "Do you want to beat him up?" Since Kaya can't swim, Yuzu offers her kickboard. At that moment, Ken bumps into Ghost, but when he turned around to see, there was no one behind him. That's when Ghost shows its slimy tongue and grabs Ken, holding him underwater. Kaya sees everything, but Saku thinks he is hiding from them. She goes after her, but due to waves caused by other kids, she doesn't notice him. He even takes his hand out in attempt to call her, but Ghost hold him underwater. At that moment, Kaya jumps with her kickboard underwater, saving Ken's life. Saku celebrate thinking Kaya smacked him, but Akira scolds them and tell them to get out of pool. Knowing Kaya can't even swim and she risked her life to save him, Ken carries her and thanks her. He even apologizes for teasing her earlier, which makes Kaya happy. Obliviously, two of them gets good scolding from Akira. After everyone says goodbye, Mob pulls up his car in front of Chi and she immediately gets cautious. He asks why didn't she contacted him. Chi says, "Why in world will I call a stalker?" He says if she doesn't agree in meeting him, he will keep coming to school. Seeing a secret folder in his hand, Chi agrees and they go to a coffee shop, where Chi examines Mob's secret documents that has all the information about Kaya. It looks super creepy and she concludes you are criminal stalker and yells that she is calling police. While she dial police, he begs her to at least hear his side, so Chi decide to hear his story. He says 4 years ago he had a beautiful, cheerful daughter. He always wished to see her happy. But one day while she was walking to school, her friends called her from across street, and unfortunately truck took her away from this world. At funeral, everyone tried to comfort him and his wife. But he wasn't sad like everyone else because he was only one who could see his daughter's spirit, and he asked her to stay by his side, which prevented him from grieving and moving on with life. But unlike Mob, his wife couldn't see their daughter's spirit, so she decided to distance herself from Mob and left written note, "When you calm down I will get back." But Mob continued taking care of his daughter's spirit, like taking her to park. But since people couldn't see her, they thought he is weird and smiling for no reason. Unfortunately, spirits can't stay in living world for too long or else they transform into scary ghosts, and what start happening to her. She said she is tired, in hope that she would recover in few days, but as days passed she became even more scary, and transformed into complete monster that happened only because he asked her to stay with him. So Mob decided to give up on life and leaves with his daughter, but to his surprise his daughter asks him to get her mom too. Mob breaks down, begging her to only take him. That is when Kaya appeared and pops Mob's daughter's ghost like a balloon. Mob explains to Chi that not only Kaya made him accept his daughter's death but also saved his marriage. Chi then says that she understands he admires Kaya, but he should use other ways to approach her. He says he has stayed away from Kaya because he was studying her powers, but last month he got disturbing information. The information reveals that there was house considered extremely dangerous in the area, and after much investigation they found it was Kaya's house. Sometimes later, Chi is walking while thinking about her conversation with Mob. She looks lost in thoughts. Just then someone calls her name. It's Kaya's dad, who came to pick her up. Chi greets him, while Kaya walks over to her dad. Chi then mentions, I am looking for the home visit tomorrow. Afterwards they say their goodbye. On their way back home, they hear an emergency alert. Apparently an 8-year-old girl went missing that day. The girl has black hair and was wearing a flowery dress. Kaya asks her dad what is going on, and he explains about the missing girl. He also says an elderly man went missing that same morning. Kaya's dad tells her to be careful. While walking, they suddenly spots the same missing girl walking alone. The little girl seems terrified. At first, she slowly looks towards him, then suddenly hugs him, begging for help because she can't find her way back home. He say, we will go to police station and will contact your parents. She gets excited for a moment, but something changes her expression instantly. She says she can't go home and runs away. Kaya's dad can't understand what happened to her, but Kaya sees a creature following the little girl. Desperately, she runs from the monster. The little girl hasn't gone home because she doesn't want to lead the monster there. Unfortunately, she ends up in a dead-end line. She hides behind a pole as that is the only way she could save herself. She watches the entrance, fearing the monster, but the one who appears there is Kaya. Kaya was actually chasing the monster. At that moment, that monster grabs little girl by the head, horrifying the poor girl. Kaya destroys the monster with a single attack, splitting him in half. Kaya then listens to what that monster is saying. It's dark, it's cold, it hurts. I want to go home, after which it vanishes off. That is when the little girl remembers what happened with her. Earlier that day, she was playing with her paper plane until it fell in the river and landed on a bag which was the dead body of the elderly man. That is when we realizes that the ghost following the girl was the same elderly man that died few days back jumping in the river. The scene returned to present. Finally, Kaya's dad catches up to both the girls. But the little girl is shaken by the incident, and Kaya's dad tells them, let's go to the police station. Later, the little girl reunites with her mom, who is relieved to have found her daughter safe. After that, there is another announcement that the dead body of the elderly man was found, who went missing few days back. The next day at school, kids are excited seeing the box full of toys. They rushes towards it. When the teacher asks the principal why so many toys, she says a school ended up closing and they were throwing these toys away, so I brought them here. Akira says that they will organize the toys later. Right now everyone should play outside. So the whole class leaves the toys except 3 sneaky girls who stay behind, as they are curious to see the best toys. One of the girls is scared that the teacher will catch them, but others don't care and they end up finding a creepy doll. As soon as a girl picks up that doll, something strange happens to her. At that moment, Kaya, who was quietly watching them, says, you can't keep that doll. Girls try to act like they weren't doing anything, but all Kaya says is, you can't keep her. But Nachi walks away with the doll and puts it in a separate spot. Just when Nachi's friends notice her sleeves are torn like the doll. Shortly after, Nachi takes out scissors and cuts her own hair, saying she prefers it shorter like the doll. She is clearly possessed by the doll. Later, her friends start to think Nachi is acting weird, and when they come inside, they notice she pulls out a baby tooth and with a creepy smile says it is all good. Her friends conclude it is because of that doll and run to throw it away. But when they get to the place Nachi kept her, it is empty. Nachi appears possessed with the doll in her arms. Little girls get scared, but one of them slaps the doll, sending it flying to the feet of Kaya. She lifts the doll and says, I told you not to keep it. She then slams the doll with tremendous force to the ground and Nachi faints right there. But she soon returns to normal, not remembering anything that happened, and the girls are happy for their friend. Kaya walks away dragging that creepy doll and throws it to the dustbin. In the afternoon, Chi goes for her first home visit, but she is nervous the whole way because of what Mob said earlier. There is something powerful living at Kaya's house. When she finally reaches the gate, Kaya sees her. She gets happy and asks what she is doing there. Chi says she came for a home visit and to have a chat with your mom and dad. Hearing this, her expression changes. But Kaya says, you can't meet my mom because my mom is different from others, and that is why Chi can't talk to her. But at that moment, the door opens and something powerful comes out to greet Chi. Chi gets excited and introduces herself to the creature, and we realize it is Kaya's mom. But since Chi doesn't have power, only Kaya sees the monster standing before them. Kaya's mom invites Chi inside, and while having tea they begin talking about Kaya, but Kaya quietly just sees the monster chatting with everyone. Kaya's dad asks how does she behave at school, and Chi says at times she is stubborn, but if you listen to her she is a fine kid. Later, Chi says goodbye to Kaya's mom and leaves. As she continued walking, she ends up running into Mob. He asks her about her visit to Kaya's house, if she found anything strange. Chi says she didn't find anything weird and Kaya's house is a normal house like any other, but he doesn't believe her. And with a creepy face, Mob asks her to share the information she collected from Kaya's house, but she refuses immediately. Just then, Chi realizes she left her pen at Kaya's house. When Mob asks her did she see anything different, she remembers Kaya's strange words. That is when Kaya's mom appears to return Chi's pen. She gets happy that she came all the way to return it. But Mob is frozen in fear. Kaya's mom says Kaya can be difficult at times, but Chi tells her no. She is sweet and will be a wonderful big sister, and we see Kaya's mom is pregnant. After Kaya's mom left, Mob takes Chi to a park and asks how was Kaya's mom from her perspective. Chi says she was kind and loving mother and she is also pregnant. Mob agrees and says what Kaya's mom is carrying in her belly is a monster. Chi still couldn't believe it and says you should not joke about it, but seeing Mob's terrified face, she realizes he is serious. Mob says he saw her that way too, because even if she is possessed she didn't act like one, so maybe the real target of possession is the baby inside her. It is like Kaya's mom is acting like a shield for the baby both physically and emotionally, that even Kaya can't defeat it. Hearing this, Chi wonders does that mean the ghost will stay like this until the baby is born, or what's born will even be human. A few days later, Kaya's dad makes her braids, and she puts on her little red shoes. As she prepares her backpack, her dad asks are we ready to go? She says, Dad, my bottle. He immediately gets her bottle filled with her favorite iced tea, and she heads for the school with her dad. Later everyone is gathered at the train station, as it is a field trip day for kids. But Miss Chi seems stressed because of Mob, who keeps calling her, saying he needs to tell her some secrets. Since they are about to leave, Akira tells Chi it's time for onboarding, so she hangs up on Mob. Suddenly, a dozen of kids swarm over her saying, I need juice, I have to pee, and kept saying different things. Chi, who is already stressed from Mob, loses it. After they onboard on train, kids seem super happy, but an old dude shows up telling the children to stand up, because since they are kids who don't pay for tickets, only the adults who pay have the right to sit. Chiro immediately gets furious, saying they paid tickets for all the children, but to avoid unnecessary fight, Akira and Shiro gets up and tell him to sit in their seats. A while later they all get off the train, and Chi check if all the kids are out, but she quickly realizes that Kaya didn't get off but is playing around. She runs to get her, but at that moment the train's door closes, and two of them are taken to the next station. Akira calls Chi and says she is relieved because it would have been worse if Kaya was alone. Akira even says this type of situation happens once every 10 years, but out of nowhere the call drops, and without Chi noticing, the train enters a parallel dimension. She sits down and asks if Kaya wants to sit too. Kaya says she can't sit there. Chi notices the old guy from before, and assumes Kaya doesn't want to sit because of what that old dude said earlier. So loudly she says you don't have to listen to a weird man and says all the tickets were paid. The old guy stands up pissed off, but at that moment several ghosts appear there, and realizing Chi can see them too, Kaya says that was the reason she didn't get off the train earlier, because ghosts were blocking her way. Chi becomes terrified, but Kaya reassures her saying not all ghosts are evil. Kaya turns to the old man who is frozen in fear and says, that man is evil. The train finally stops as Chi rushes towards the door. One of the ghosts says, you can't get off. Meanwhile, the old guy rushes to get out and falls to the ground, wondering what the hell was happening in that train. He is relieved, thinking he escaped the ghosts, but unfortunately a monster appears behind him, and we can only imagine what might have happened with him. Chi and Kaya, who were inside the train, exit the parallel dimension, and Chi wonders if all of this was a dream. Right then Mob calls her and says he was worried because her GPS disappeared, so he figured something must be wrong. Chi notices there are no trains to take them back, but since Mob is the official stalker he pulls up his car behind shouting, hello there. Chi accepts the ride and she asks, were you going this way only? He casually says not to worry about details. Chi asks if the driver is okay with Mob's crazy behavior. Driver says without hesitation, yeah, my husband is a weirdo. Chi gets shocked, knowing she is his wife. Kaya finally recognizes Mob, which makes him super happy. He asks her to call him Mob, and as soon as she says it, the guy jumps, shaking the car. During their conversation, Mob says he discovered that Kaya has a grandmother named Ebby. He tells Chi that this is the reason he needed to speak to her and gave her a picture of Kaya's grandmom, who is famous for having eyes capable of seeing beings from the other world, and in the past she has helped solve many crimes. Mob talks non-stop, which irritates Chi. Meanwhile, Kaya falls asleep. Mob says Kaya's grandmom must know something about Kaya's mother, and says her grandmom lives in a nursing home. He says since nursing home is located is very close to the kids' field trip, he thought about taking Kaya there. Chi finds this very sketchy and rips Mob's face off. Says, are you planning to kidnap Kaya? But Mob says he was planning to take her along too. This irritates Chi even more, but he calms her down saying, don't you want to help your student? Chi remembers the promise she made to Kaya that she will protect her always. Shortly after they arrive at the nursing home, as they walk inside the building, they straight away reach to receptionist. And Kaya notices an old lady telling ghosts to get out of here. She asks Mob, "What's this?" He says these ghosts are known as those who take away, referring to spirits that appear when someone is near the end of their life. Since Kaya doesn't understand, she thinks the spirits are here just to take elderly people home, just like her dad picks her from school. Curious, Kaya walks towards one of the ghosts and pops him like a bubble. The old lady thanks Kaya, but Mob gets absolutely nervous, because this will attract the elderly people who want to feel alive again. That's exactly what happened. The elderly folks showed up saying, "You made the ghost go away. I also want to live longer." Mob and Chi run from the elderly people who are possessed by the ghosts. Mob explains that these old people see death coming, but when a person discovers how to banish death, they chase after them seeking a way to live longer. Mob also says that if they get too close to Kaya, it will be dangerous for her. He tells them to head to Kaya's grandmom and says he will stay behind to handle the elderly folks. Chi runs off with Kaya, and Mob stays back to handle the elderly people who looks like zombies. That's when Ebby appears, and by tapping her stick on the ground, instantly all the death spirits disappear. She lectures the elderly folks saying that getting rid of death spirits won't extend their lives. It will only make them more anxious. Mob watches this in amazement, impressed by her incredible powers. He then introduces himself to Ebby and says he has someone very important to introduce to her. Meanwhile, Chi and Kaya arrive at Ebby's room, but notice the room is empty. They go in anyway, and Chi finds an old family photo. She notices Kaya's mom when she was younger in the photo, but Kaya's expression is different. Meanwhile, Ebby and Mob walk towards the room, and Mob explains that she has a granddaughter named Kaya. She says she doesn't remember having a granddaughter. They reach the room and Ebby observes Kaya with her back turned. When Kaya turns around, Ebby freaks out. She screams, "Nana, why did you do this? This girl is innocent. If you want to kill someone, just kill me." She quickly pulls Ebby away from Kaya, but Kaya flashes a terrifying smile and passes out right after. And they leaves from there. Later on their way back, Mob regrets bringing them here, and says it was a careless encounter. Meanwhile, Kaya wakes up and calmly says, "Why didn't we see my grandma?" Shortly after they arrive at the field trip location, and Chi explains that Kaya doesn't remember anything about meeting her grandmother, since it wasn't a good memory. Mom says it is better she doesn't remember anything. Kaya reunites with other kids and the field trip started, and while Kaya is having fun, Chi concludes that Kaya didn't lose her memory, because at that moment it wasn't Kaya who was there but someone else, and she wonders who was that terrifying girl who was in Kaya's place. A few days later in the classroom, Akira asks the kids to draw something that left an impression on them from the last field trip. Ken and Yuzu lean over curiously to see what Kaya is drawing, and we finally see it. Kaya defeating a ghost in the middle of a forest. Akira tells her to stop this creepy drawing, but since Chi knows the truth, she saves Kaya from scolding and says there was a tree there that looked like a ghost. Akira gets it now and apologizes to her. Kaya, who clearly gets happy because Chi protected her. Later after school, Kaya is out at a mall with her dad, happily playing around. Mob watches her from a distance like a creep. A kid starts walking towards him, but his mom pulls him away, immediately telling him to stay away from such creeps. But honestly, Mob is just happy to see Kaya having such a great day. Lost in his thoughts, Mob stops paying attention, just when he loses track of Kaya and completely panics, searching for her everywhere. After scanning the area, he finally spots her and runs after her near a fountain. Kaya turns around and senses him. She says, "Uncle Mob, my dad disappeared." He realizes she is lost and wants to help, but he freaks out about getting in trouble. He looks around to ask for help, but something strange happens. The mall, which was packed a minute ago, is suddenly empty. Out of nowhere, Kaya spots what she thinks is her dad, and she runs. Mob runs after her to stop her. Kaya finally sees her dad, except he is acting weird, just standing behind fitting room and waving her over. Mob, terrified, tells her immediately, "Lady Kaya, this is not your dad." But Kaya walks inside. The moment she pulls back the curtain, a mannequin hand drops on the floor. Mob also gets inside to see it. Just then, he hears something behind him and starts sweating. As he turns around, a mannequin stands right in front of him wearing her dad's face. He falls on the ground out of fear, and that mannequin crashes down on top of him. In panic, he grabs Kaya's hand and runs looking for a safe place. As they run, he notices the mall full of mannequins watching them, and he starts questioning, what is happening here? Are we in another world? He spots the elevator and rushes towards it. After getting in, Mob presses the first floor button like his life depends on it. But it doesn't seems working. But then Kaya in a deep voice says, "It's too late, there is no way out for you. Once you enter there is no way back." For a moment, he doesn't realize, but then she reveals her true self. The girl next to him is not the real Kaya but a monster. He lets out a scream as the monster reveals himself right in front of him. The creature gets towards Mob and suddenly climbs over his chest to devour him. But at the last second, the real Kaya kicks the elevator door open and says, "You got lost, but I found you, Uncle Mob." And with one punch she kills the monster right there. As she turned to look at Mob, he burst into tears like a baby thanking Kaya for saving his life. He then takes her to the mall's lost and found desk to figure where her dad is, but her mom shows up to pick her. But the second the receptionist says her mom is there, Kaya, who was just playing with her bunny, flashes back to the monstrous form she always sees whenever she looks at her mom, and she runs out of mall, terrified. Outside, her mom catches up and calls her name. Kaya freezes, because this is the first time she has ever heard her mom's real voice. She looks at her face and sees her for the first time normally, and screams, "Mommy, Mommy." But she isn't her mom. She is another woman who, after pulling off her wig, turns out to be Aunt Nana. Finally, Kaya's dad comes running towards her, scared that he lost his daughter, and picks her up. He then notices this woman and asks, "Who are you?" Kaya says that's Aunt Nana. The second her dad looks at this woman, he realizes she is the older sister of his wife. Nana asks if Mai never said anything about her family. He says Mai never liked talking about it. Nana says when she found out she had a niece, she felt like she had to meet her. Nana turns to leave and asks him to tell Mai about her visit. He agrees and then introduces himself and asks her to pass his regards to the family. Nana thanks him, but when her eyes land on Kaya, she meets the dark stare of Kaya, and as she walks away she thinks she needs to investigate Kaya's household, as something looks fishy. Another day at school, Ken breaks a vase of flowers and his classmate complains about him without a second thought. Akira, furious, tells him this is the third time and drags him to the punishment room. Saku tells Kaya that the punishment room is a dark, haunted place where a ghost forces bad kids to behave. She says teacher Cairo told her about it. But the truth is Cairo made this up just to scare kids. Kaya decides on the spot that she will defeat that ghost, and Saku says she will come along, but Kaya doesn't know where the punishment room is, so Saku says, "Don't worry, I got this." As they walk, Saku asks her, "Why aren't you scared of ghosts?" She simply says because she can beat them. Saku thinks that's amazing. Kaya tells her, "Don't worry, I will protect you if a ghost appears." She grabs Kaya's hand and leads her to the supply closet. Kaya asks, "Is this the room?" Saku says, "Yes, it is." Kaya gets in to hunt the ghost, but Saku won't come in because she is terrified. Kaya takes her little hand and pulls her inside, telling her not to worry. Saku says that's not the problem. The problem is that the room is scary, and the door shuts by itself, plunging them into darkness. Saku loses it, saying she is scared of darkness, so Kaya finds a light switch. She is about to turn it on, but then she spots a ghost just over Saku. That ghost says, "You can see me." Kaya notices every time she turns the light on he vanishes and appears when the lights are off. But while she is toggling the switch, Saku begs her to stop. That's when the ghost realizes Kaya can see it and comes charging at her, but Kaya pops him with a single punch. In a second she turns to Saku and says, "I told you not to worry." She walks over to Saku, who is still crying, and says everything is fine now, forgetting she didn't turn on the light. That's when Chi walks in and finds Saku sobbing, clinging to Kaya's shirt, and Miss Chi takes both of them to the teacher's room. There Kaya braces for scolding, but Chi surprises her by pulling out candies for both of them, and she asks Kaya, "Why did you go to that room?" So Kaya says there was a ghost and she defeated it. Chi asks with a smile, "Then why is Saku still crying?" That's when it clicks to Kaya that the real reason Saku is upset isn't the ghost. It's because Kaya dragged her to a dark room. Kaya, embarrassed, says, "I didn't mean to hurt Saku." Chi says she believes her because Kaya is a good kid who just wanted to protect Saku. Chi says gently, "Kaya, you should start understanding how other people feel, and you can become even kinder." And then Kaya turns to Saku through tears and says, "I am sorry, Saku." After which the three of them share a hug. Meanwhile, far away, Nana visits her mother and tells her she ran into Kaya and nothing happened, but Ibi, who was once known as the most powerful psychic in Japan, is unrecognizable after her encounter with Kaya and repeats the same words, "Mai is dead after giving birth to that thing, stay away from her." Nana doesn't understand how her mother turned like this. She concludes, something deeply wrong is happening around Kaya. Somewhere at Mob's office, he gets a call from his mysterious master who warns him to be careful around Kaya, because he is weak and will regret it if he keeps letting his guard down when the master isn't around. And before hanging up he says, stay away from that house or you will regret it. The next day, Kaya is out there having a blast with her dad, who's tossing her up, saying, look, Kaya is flying. After he puts her down, her mom, May, says there is something special, we need to talk. With a big smile on her face, May tell her that you are gonna be a big sister. Yes, there is a baby inside mommy's tummy. Kaya literally lights up listening to this news. She runs to mommy and curls up in her lap, and May, who gets a little emotional, give her a warm hug. And the entire family shares a beautiful moment. Later, Mai visits the hospital for her scan, and the doctor warns her that there's a risk of premature birth since Kaya's delivery was an emergency home birth. So the doctor asks Mai to stay admitted just to make sure everything is okay, and Kaya's dad reassures her, don't worry, I will handle everything at home. But when Kaya looks at her mom, she catches a glimpse of ghost possessing her, trapped inside her belly. May gets a little emotional and tell doctor, I was very anxious during my pregnancy with Kaya, but I just want this baby to be healthy and safe. After that, Kaya's dad drop her in a daycare inside hospital, where she is playing with blocks. Kaya then gets up and tell the women in charge, I want to pee, and goes after she relieve herself. She gets on her way back to daycare, but hears a terrifying scream. That makes her blood run cold. My baby, where is my baby? A desperate gut-wrenching scream coming from hallway. The woman is frantically slamming the call button in room 303, losing her mind trying to get help. Kaya kept walking and overhears two nurses talking that this keeps happening and there is nothing they can do. One of them mentions that if that woman's baby was born healthy, none of this would be happening. Just then Kaya sees a baby ghost crawling down the hallway, heading straight for room 303. Kaya follows him. There is a pool of blood before the room. When she opens the door, she walks into something wild. A whole bunch of baby ghosts swarming the woman who is screaming at them to get away, insisting that none of them is her child. Without a single ounce of fear, Kaya handles the whole thing in a second, killing all of them. The woman who went under the blanket out of fear takes it off and stares at her completely lost, and Kaya says, it's okay ma'am, all the ghosts are gone. Kaya asks if you have a child, she says, yes. She starts crying again, asking where her child is, until she realizes he's right there in her lap. Flooded with relief, she completely breaks down in tears. Thinking her baby is so tiny, she carries him in her arms. Right then a nurse walks in and scolds Kaya for being alone in a patient's room. Kaya apologizes, and as she turns to say goodbye to the woman, the bed is all empty. There is nobody there. She asks where is the lady and her baby, pointing her finger to bed. The nurse freaks out and tells Kaya to stop scaring her because there is no patient in this room. That's when the truth reveals. The woman who used to stay there didn't survive the delivery, and neither did her baby. A little later, Kaya's dad comes to pick her up. On the way, her dad's on the phone with his boss, explaining that why didn't he come to office. He says, I needed to be with my daughter as my wife is at the hospital, but the boss keep pressuring him. But just in the time they reach home and Kaya open the gate. Meanwhile, he checks the mailbox. A note from Nana shows up saying she's happy that Kaya and Mai are doing well, and if need help just ask. The next day at the playground, the kids run towards the equipment the second they arrive. Saku and Kaya sprint together, heading straight for their favorite thing to play on. When they get there, they realize it is gone. A kid had gotten hurt on it, so they pulled it immediately. So Saku suggests they should hit the slides. They are both excited, until Ken and bunch of other boys run right past everyone, and even cut the line, fuming Saku. She points to the rules sign and threatened to tell Miss Akira everything, but then Kaya notices Saku has gone quiet. She looks closer and see a creepy ghost grinning from inside Saku. She's possessed. Kaya goes straight for the ghost and lands a clean hit, but the possession doesn't break. Saku, who is still possessed, says she is going down the slide head first. Kaya stops her. It is way too dangerous, but Saku doesn't hear any of it and launches herself anyway. Kaya also notices that Ken and others are possessed too, and Ken decides to climb up the slide from bottom, right as Saku is flying down head first, and the exact moment when they were about to collide, they both snap back to normal. But the real hero was Akira, who had been watching them whole time. She takes Ken off the slide in right time. Saku goes flying straight into sand. As she get up, some serious scolding was waiting for Saku, And honestly, it took just one angry look of Akira to normalize possessed kids. Later the afternoon, Nana shows up at school to pick Kaya. When Miss Chi turns around, she gets surprised as it's not Mr. Sato. Kaya walks towards her. Nana explains she came at Kaya's dad's request. Chi introduces herself. But something clicked Nana, as this is the teacher who visited her mother's nursing home. She saw her name in the visitors list. Nana straight away asked her, "How much do you know about Kaya?" She think back to that wild, terrifying day with Eri at nursing home, but decides to keep her mouth shut. So she played dumb, acting like the question was about Kaya's school life. Nana, who is not a fool, says, "It is sketchy for a teacher to poke her nose in someone's matter." She gives her final warning and say, "There are things in this world regular people shouldn't see, or if they do, something bad will happen to them." She stands there completely speechless. On the way back home, a sketchy ghost tailing them. Nana whisper to Kaya not to look at him, because if she make eye contact, he will follow them back home. Nana thinks even at this age Kaya has no fear at all. Back at the house, Nana realizes the same ghost from before followed them. She slaps a protective ward seal on front door. After that, she asks Kaya where her mom's room is. Just then the doorbell rings. Nana goes to answer it and sees Kaya's dad standing outside, asking to come in, but she had gotten a text saying he wouldn't be back until 6 p.m. Nana figures it out immediately and turns to Kaya and explains some people will try to get into the house, but she need to ignore all of them. Can she do that? She says yes. A little while later, Kaya is on the couch watching cartoon when the doorbell rings again. This time it is Mob's voice asking to come in, but Kaya, sharp as ever, knows immediately it is not the real Mob because real Mob always calls her Lady Kaya. The doorbell rings one more time, and now it is Nana's own voice, screaming at Kaya to get out of the house right now. She warns that Nana inside is a dangerous ghost and tell the real Nana is outside. Kaya believes it and runs to open the door. The ghost steps in, thanks Kaya for letting him inside, but Nana moves fast, slapping a ward seal onto his forehead. The ghost lets out a howl of pain. Nana asks Kaya not to worry and get back, but then Kaya throws a punch. Just one punch and the ghost turns to dust. Nana is absolutely speechless. She thinks to herself that this is completely unhinged because her power and her mom's power doesn't even come close to how powerful Kaya is. Meanwhile, Chi calls Mob for explaining what happened at school. She says that Kaya's aunt warned her to stay away from her family, but Chi didn't know that the person who picked up the phone wasn't Mob but his master. The next day, Chi is on her way to school. She calls Mob's wife and gets the news that surprises her. Mob has gone missing, but his wife says it's very normal because whenever he land up in crazy situations, he disappears. Since she is working in office, they hang up, but Chi is still uneasy because when she tried calling Mob earlier, the voice that picked was not his. She says, "I hope Mob is fine." Later, when Chi reaches the school, Mob's mysterious mentor hides near the bushes, watches everything from there. He sees Kaya playing with her classmates and jumping on the playground toy. The man watches from a distance and mutters, "She is very powerful and no doubt that child is a monster." A little later, a toddler throws full-on tantrums. He cries on the floor. When Chi hears it, she goes and asks what's going on. The boy's grandma explains that he put his shoes on the wrong feet. She tells him to fix it, but that kid keeps crying, insisting he likes it this way. Grandma loses her patience and snaps at him. "Do you want to look like dead? In the old days, only dead people used to wear everything backwards." She points at him and says, "Right now you are looking like a dead person." But she knows how a kid's brain works. So instead of arguing, she walks towards him and acts completely blown away by the kid, praising him for putting his shoes on by himself and asks if he can do it again in front of her, so she can see how he did it. The trick worked like a charm. He puts his socks and shoes on right way without even realizing it. The grandma looked at Chi and appreciates her, but Chi suddenly senses something strange, but can't see anyone. After that, the boy happily says goodbye. Chi picks up her phone from her closet in school, hoping to see a message from Mob, and then he sends a photo of a park, asking her to come alone, because he has something important to talk. So Chi goes there. Chi is at the park waiting for Mob alone, who's nowhere to be found. She starts getting annoyed. She checks her phone and tries to call him. That is when she realizes a boy sitting on swing next to her. She tries talking to him, but the boy completely ignores her. She even introduces herself just to have a talk to him, but he starts swinging and flashes a weird smile. Then the boy's mom comes running towards them, waving. She apologizes to the boy, thinking she had scared him. But then she notices the boy waving at his mom backward. When Chi looks at his mom running towards her, she screams because the woman was running backwards too. Chi bolts from there completely panicked and end up crashing into Mob. She warns him that this place is dangerous, that there is a complete family of ghosts here. Mob gets excited and immediately starts writing. Chi says this is not the time for taking notes, but then she notices something. Mob is writing everything backwards. Mob looks up, flashes a terrifying smile, and claps for Chi for knowing that dead do everything in reverse. Chi freezes. She drops on her knees. That is when Mob's mentor appears, and flicks Mob right in the forehead, kicking out the ghost that possessed him. He then sits near him, trying to wake him up. Mob gets up saying he feels very light. He then gets astonished seeing his master, who then explains to Chi that she has just been lured to a place like this. Chi is shocked and furious at the same time, and demands they both explain everything, including who is this mysterious mentor. Mob then explains that he learned everything about spirits from him, and the guy's name is Nan. He is so powerful that he can't stay at one place for too long. Chi looks at Mob and says that she now have 2 suspects. But Nan doesn't even flinch and says he asked her not to get involved with the shrine maidens of Ibi. But Chi is way too curious. She asks who is Ibi, realizing isn't that Kaya's mom's middle name. She couldn't understand it. Nan explains that for generation, extraordinary powers have been passed on to eldest daughter of each Ebba's family. That is exactly what's going on with Kaya, and without sugarcoating anything, he says that little girl is a monster. Chi gets furious and fires back. Kaya is not a monster. She is a sweet, kind girl, but Nan responds, when it comes to power, this overwhelming and dangerous. Whether she is good or evil, it doesn't matter. The next day, Kaya grabs a little shovel. She tells Yuzu she is going to build a mountain. A boy named Yuki announces that this is the construction site of his company, and Kaya can only be here if she does her job right. Then, being a good sport, he grabs the shovel and teaches her the right way to build mountain, and say it's your turn now. Kaya stares at the mountain and deconstruct it in one shot. Yuki loses it. You are fired. Kaya gets sad. Meanwhile, Yuzu tell Yuki to let it be, but Yuki, who's busy making another mountain, tell her he won't take Kaya in his team again. Yuki finally finishes building another mountain, only to notice that a boy named Masa built a mountain way better than his. Stung by jealousy, Yuki decides to dig a tunnel too. His little friend mutters that he hates losing. Yuki starts digging and suddenly feels like someone's digging from the other side. But he can't see anyone, so he brushes it off. Then, a mysterious hand grabs his arm and start pulling him. He kept saying, "Who's there? Why are you pulling so hard?" His friends tell him to stop it, but he insists that someone's on the other side. His friends say there is nobody. Yuki is scared out of his mind. Finally sees a terrifying ghost pulling him into the hole. And that's when Kaya shows up and destroys the mountain with her shovel. She quietly asks, "Are you okay?" Yuki gets completely shaken, trying to convince himself it was just his imagination. But then he sees the finger marks on his arms. Yuzu calls Kaya over to make sand cakes. She says she will be right there, but notices her powers are taking longer than usual to fade. She quickly hides her arm and goes to play. Later, Yuki's mom comes to question the teachers about the grip marks on her son's arm. Akira and Chi apologizes for not keeping an eye on him. The mom asks if he know who did it. Yuki says Kaya was there, but it wasn't her. It was Kaya who stopped the ghost that did it to him. The next day, the annual Fall Family Festival kicks off. While talking with teacher Cairo, Chi senses a strange presence nearby. Someone who absolutely doesn't belong at this event. Right then, Kaya nudges Chi, trick or treat. Kaya's dad arrives there and she asks how her mom is doing. He says she is fine, which put Chi more at ease. In the moment of distraction, Kaya lets go of her dad's hand without anyone noticing. When she calls for her dad, Kaya looks at the hand she is holding and it's not her dad's hand. She starts looking, but bumps into the same creepy stranger from before. The guy smiles in a weird way and offers to help her. Kaya can sense this guy is bad and takes off running, but ends up getting even more lost. The guy shows up again dropping his mask and Kaya recognizes him immediately, that he is a bad man. He says, "Come hang out with me." Kaya throws a powerful punch, but the guy catches her arm with ease. She starts screaming for help, drawing attention from everyone around. But people assume it's just a dad dealing with a difficult kid. She tries to break free again, but he grabs her tiny arm tight. Kaya starts losing control over her powers and thinks to herself, Kaya is so strong, so why am I scared? And in the exact moment when she is about to lose control, Nan comes and says, "What are you doing with my daughter?" People around them start eyeing the man for the predator. He says, that Kaya was the one following him and leaves. He thinks Kaya does not know that possessed humans are not affected by her attacks. He puts a mask on her because she is barely holding up, then picks her up and murmurs that monsters should not live among humans. Nan is abandoned by his parents due to his psychic powers. At his first day of school, a girl greets him. As she tries to introduce herself, he tells her, "There is a ghost clinging to your neck," and then pops it. But since she can't see it, she gets terrified. After this incident, the whole class started saying, "He is so weird, no wonder he was abandoned." He was left in isolation. As years passed, he just stayed with himself. Even his classmates tried hurting him. He has undergone many tests and medications. Manny tried attacking him too. One day, he gets up and stood beside the window, whereas other patients discuss that anyone who stays in room 313 attempts suicide. We then see Mob writing all the details. Just then, Nan jump off, but somehow he survived. And that's when Mob visit him for the first time. He then introduces himself and handed his business card. He tell him he is a psychic and says he was investigating rumors about spirit haunting this room. He hold Nan's hand and tell him, "This time you were saved, but if you continue to stay here, you could die." He says, "I will protect you." Just then a nurse appears and tell him you can't roam around patient's bed, so she get him dragged out of there. Mob shouts that this boy is in danger. That night Nan thinks about the lame excuse he made, that he accidentally fell off the window. But even after what he said, he is so depressed that he thinks nobody cares if I live or die. He then think about what Mob said about protecting him. He is so deeply sad. He lies on bed and thinks, why does he care? The next day Mob covers Nan's bed with protective sheets to keep the ghosts away. Nan asks him, "Hey Mob, everyone thinks you are crazy. Don't you feel embarrassed?" Mob tell him, "Every person understand the world around them differently, and if that difference is big, it's natural for people to get intimidated. It's just a human thing. So why would I be ashamed of it?" Nan figures it and says it's sounding like a justification. Mom laughs a little and says, "Even though people thinks I am crazy, but you haven't called me that. Why?" Just then the nurse showed up again, completely mad, because Mob has snuck in the room again. She then gets him out. But Nan starts realizing that every person do see things differently. Up until now he thought he was the only one seeing things different. He smiles a little after a long time. Meanwhile, Mob comes back again, hiding in the room next room. He already told Nan that if any ghost appears, just knock on the door, and he will rush to save him using his spray. But later at the night, Mob is snoring and wake up when he hears a loud bang on the wall. Just then Nan appears telling him, "Why aren't you coming?" Mob apologizes to him and says he was about to come. Nan asks, "Why were you knocking?" Mob tell him, "I never banged on the wall." That's when we see the ghost that's banging. When Mob turn around, he witnessed the ghost slamming his own head on wall, leaving Mob completely terrified, and he asks Nan which room number is this. He says it's 313. The ghost looked at Mob and flashes the most terrified smile. Mob froze even though he was scared. He says, "I will handle it," pointing his holy water spray towards the ghost. As the ghost run towards him, he shut the door, telling Nan to run away. Inside room 313, the ghost starts slamming Mob's head into the wall. Mob thought, why did he ever think he could stand a chance in front of this ghost? After that, Nan comes inside the room. He stood up right in front of the ghost and blew him with a one finger, shocking Mob. Mob then remembers the time he gave him his card. He never knew Nan was this powerful. He then sit in front of Mob and thanks him for protecting him, which made Mob smile. But Nan says, "Although you are a physic, you are very weak against ghosts. So from now I will be the master, and you will be my acquaintance." Back in the fest, Nan walks away, taking Kaya in his arm. Chi and Kaya's dad are searching for her. They both apologizes for letting Kaya go, and then split in different direction, searching for her. That's when Chi spotted Kaya in Nan's arm. She then follows him and says, "Stop right there." As Nan turns around, she recognizes him and asks, "What are you doing with Kaya?" He puts Kaya down and removes her mask to show Chi how frightening she is. She can't get back to her normal form, but Chi doesn't stop and runs to hug Kaya. She says gently, "It's okay Kaya, you are gonna be fine." Nan says, "You might be under some spell to treat a monster like this, or that's how you train a beast." Chi hears it and tell him, "Why are you using words like train as if Kaya is some kind of animal?" And ask, "Why are you saying it when you are a physic too?" Nan then shows a wound on his head and asks Chi, "How would you treat Kaya if you knew her powers?" And she immediately remembers how rude she was with Kaya initially. He then explains that people generally misunderstand us like abnormal, and people with all these powers are called psychic. Sometimes these powers are too strong. And looking at Kaya, he says no one in the Ibi family is innocent, and she is a pure sinister. Chi asks him, "How do you know all this about Kaya?" He then says, "I am Nam Ebisumori." And to show what is living inside Kaya, Nan touches Kaya's head to rip off the spirit right from her body, leaving Kaya lifeless. Chi gets completely stunned. Nan shows Chi and say, "This is what is inside Kaya." Chi gets to Kaya's lifeless body, picks her in her arm and asks Nan, "What have you done to her?" He tell her that's not Kaya, but the one he is holding is. The girl you call Kaya is a supernatural clan of Ebi in human form. The eldest daughter of Ebi is the one who inherits abnormal powers, and that's how everything inside Kaya is supernatural. Not a trace inside her is human. And eventually this little spirit will become full supernatural being. He says he don't care what Ebi clan does. I won't ever stand their way. It's just Mob was fascinated by Ebi family, so to protect him I had to come on the way. He says this girl named Kaya that you are trying to protect never existed, and says you are also a victim to it. He even tell her, it's best if you report that she went missing. Just then Chi, who couldn't take it anymore, knocks Nan to the ground and hold Kaya's spirit in her arms. She says, take back whatever you said and say, Kaya is not a monster. She remembered the first time she met Kaya. She didn't want to change her dirty cloths. Chi insists her to change, but she didn't. Even her friend says she is so dirty. Teachers discuss that Kaya has always been this stubborn. When Chi asks, why don't you want to change? Kaya snaps, you wouldn't understand. After that Chi comes to Kaya again and say I want to understand. Chi kept asking her why she doesn't want to change, giving her various reasons. Eventually Kaya asks, Miss Chi, why you want to know that? Chi then sits beside her and say, I want to understand how you feel. Innocently, Kaya says, I thought you hated me. But Chi tell her I loved you and give her a warm hug. That's when Kaya says, I like long sleeves because it's hide my skin when it changes color. Back in present, Chi tell Nan, it doesn't matter if Kaya is a supernatural being, because in reality, she is kind. Get hurt, she has a human heart inside her. She say it loud and clear, I will do everything to protect Kaya. Those words made Kaya's spirit remembers Miss Chi's love towards her, and after that spirit returned to Kaya's body. Nan looked at his hand and says he might not get another chance to separate Kaya's spirit again. Kaya opens her eyes. As Chi sees it, she gets teary and hug her tightly. Kaya says, I got lost Miss Chi, and starts crying. Chi comforted her saying, everything is alright and we will find your dad. After that Chi takes her back to her dad, who thanks Miss Chi for helping him find Kaya. Afterwards they say goodbye to each other. She tell Nan not to hurt Kaya again. He says he doesn't have power to do it again. He asks, how did you get her spirit back? Maybe you are one of us too. She says no, I am not. Kaya might have some feeling inside her that made her come back, and he instantly remembers how Chi protected Kaya, just like Mob once protected him. He says, I need to learn more about Kaya and leaves. Later, at Mob's apartment, Chi calls Mob and practically blows up his phone, screaming at him, saying Nan tried killing Kaya. Just then Nan comes from behind and says I was just exorcising evil spirits. He says he was researching about Kaya with all the information he has collected. He knows that Kaya is the next leader of Ebia, yet she is living a normal life outside, hiding her true identity. Chi then asks him, you also belong to Ebi family. He says, I am from a different branch of Ebi family, like there is a main bloodline and then there is a branch. He says the branch serves the main Ebi family religiously. He then add he was abandoned by the family because he had some power to see the true forms of Ebi family, and as soon I said it, they put me in a mental institution because I was a threat to them. He then shows the wrecked state of his hand that happened since he last touched Kaya. Chi says, it looks like you still want to get rid of Kaya. He says if necessary, I will. He says, you are the one who put her back in life, so it's your job to keep an eye on her. Later after school, Nana comes to pick Kaya. She comes running. Chi wonders, Nana is a psychic too. Just then Nana says, Kaya has been feeling down lately. Though you have no idea why. Chi thinks, maybe she is also like Nan, who doesn't see Kaya as human, but just a spirit. Nana says if you wants to discuss anything, don't hesitate. Back in the house, while making paper charms, Kaya asks, hey Aunt Nana, can you also get rid of ghosts like me? She says no I can't. Only someone special like Kaya can do that. But Kaya says my powers didn't work last time. I couldn't get rid of the monster. Nana then tell her, when I was your age, I was just terrified by ghosts and used to hide behind my mother. So it's very normal. After that Nana fold a paper charm and gives it to Kaya, saying, it's a talisman that will protect you from monster. She says it looked like a butt. At that moment Nana is reminded of her sister, Kaya's mom, who once said exact same thing, it's like a butt. Nana says no, it's a heart, and she hugs Nana. Tears falls her face. Kaya apologizes thinking it's her fault, but Nana says something went in her eye. The next day at the park, Kaya and her friends are playing hide and seek. It's her turn to find them. One little boy sees a spot. When he get to Saku, he seems possessed by ghost. He tell her I saw a perfect hiding spot, so he takes her there. Even though she is scared of dark places, Saku goes inside and some tentacles starts showing that grasp her inside. Kaya finishes her counting and runs to catch her friends. And without much struggle she finds Yuzu and Ken, then Saku and Masa. They both turn around with a weird smile. Kaya says you two looks different. They start calling her a weirdo. Kaya says Saku would never say that to me and run to attack, but her powers doesn't work, and she is knocked down easily. After that they go up to Ken and Yuzu. When they ask where is Kaya, Saku says she doesn't want to play. Why don't four of us play together? A while later, Yuzu calls for Ken, but can't find him. Saku tell her to just get back to class, but she continue looking him. She look everywhere, until she spots him coming out of the same place Saku went. She runs to him saying let's go, but then Ken transforms in a weird creature. He tries getting towards her and others surround her too. Meanwhile, Akira tells kids, it's time to get inside. Just then Yuzu comes running chased by ghosts. She screams, Kaya. As she looks at Yuzu she runs to protect but remembers what that stranger and Saku said earlier. You can't do anything, Kaya. She then takes out the talisman Nana gave her. Meanwhile, ghosts drag Yuzu towards that spot, where she sees everyone is trapped in the real ghost's hair. That ghost says, let's all play together and hide forever. Yuzu screams seeing it, but he opens his mouth and hairs to catch her, and just when he's about to capture her, Kaya appears, pushing Yuzu out of that place and tell her to get away from there. Yuzu runs. The ghosts turn to Kaya saying, now it's your turn. By this time Kaya has gotten all her powers back. She walks towards it, saying never be mean to my friends. She runs and hit him with one punch and destroys him. As kids snap back to normal, right then, Akira, Chi, and Yuzu comes running towards them. Everyone hugs Kaya relieved that they are now safe. Kaya gets happy. Akira then takes the kid with her, except Kaya and Chi stood there. Chi asks Kaya what happened there. She says she killed a ghost and give her the talisman Nana gave her. Chi sees it and as she opened that, she gets surprised. Next day at the park, Kaya is playing with Saku. Meanwhile, Mob is stalking her, taking her pictures. Nan, who's standing right behind him, thinks it's creepy but says we can't leave that girl unsupervised. He then turned to Nan and click his picture, and when Nana see there is nothing in that snap, Mob tell him to wait for a while for image to appear. And then he sees his photo. Mob lecture him that analog camera shows what human eye can't perceive. Nan doesn't listen and leaves for taking a drink. He then throws that pic in dustbin. Mob continues clicking Kaya's picture just when he noticed some monster right there in the park. He wonders if Kaya has left it alone, that means it's harmless. But as he clicks again, he notices the monster looking at him. Meanwhile, Nan takes the drinks for both of them and notices Mob seems still. He asks what happened. Mob then hands him over the pictures he took. Every time he clicks the monster gets closer. Mob tell Nan to do something, but he can't see anything. Just then we see the monster is inside the camera. Nan immediately understand and put his hands on the lens. He tell Mob stop looking, and that's when the ghost attacks him, but he obviously just with his one finger takes him down. As he asks, are you okay, Mob? He gets surrounded by many other ghosts. He realizes that because of all pictures Mob took, ghosts multiplied. He tries to finish them but can't. He drops to the ground because they overpowers him. As they tries attack him, a hula hoop slice every ghost. Kaya shows up spinning that hula and says, leave Uncle Mob's friend alone. She sliced those ghosts into half. After that she turns to Mob saying, are you okay? Mob literally drops to his knees before her, crying, begging to take more photos. Nan turns to leave and notices Kaya is the one saving Mob always. As he walk away he pull off his gloves and looks at his hand and can't believes that Kaya did that. He thinks he can't protect Mob anymore. Later, just before Nana takes Kaya home, Chi tells her Kaya can see ghosts and can also kill them. Nana says that means you know about shrines of Abi. Chi tell her I will tell you everything, but then you have to tell me too. Nana asks her, why do you trust me now? She says I saw what was written in the talisman you gave Kaya, let all evil be channeled to Ibi. Chi says I just want Kaya to be with her family happily. They sit in a room. Chi says Nan told me few things. Nana says what Nan told was half right, and tell her more about the clan. The founder of their clan was a shrine maiden possessed by gods. Because of her power, the clan prospered. But after her death, that power vanished, and the clan was doomed. Desperate to bring it back at any cost, they tried many spells until they found a solution, the cursed womb. With this, the first child would always be female and would inherit both the appearance and abilities of the first shrine maiden. So Nabu is not wrong about Kaya being a vessel for the first shrine maiden's spiritual energy. For a normal person, it would seem like a monster. But Kaya is not just a vessel, she has her own personality. Then she asks why Kaya's mother would make her a vessel. Nana shows a photo of her sister and explains that she had no curse energy, which made her feel inferior within the clan. Somehow, she learned about the curse womb and gave birth to Kaya to fulfill her own ambition. Chi then says that might be why she wants another child. A friend of hers mentioned that there is a strange entity inside Kaya's mother's belly, and she thinks it could be another curse womb. Nana is shocked. She says that is impossible. There can only be one shrine maiden, so what would this other vessel be for? She then grabs Kaya and tells Chi they are leaving, saying there is something important she must do. She directly reaches the hospital. As she walks towards Maya's room, Kaya holds Nana's leg, terrified, says, "You can't go in there." Nana says you are a strong girl facing mommy alone, but from now I will take care. After that she walks alone. As she tries to open May's room, a hand grabs her arm and her eyes start bleeding, and she gets thrown away from there. Kaya comes running asking, "Are you okay?" She can't understand what just happened. Meanwhile, her phone rings, she picks it and gets a news from nursing home. Nana gets stunned entirely. Her things falls down. That's when we realize her protection charm split in two that had fallen out of her bag. Nan also comes to see Nana's mom, who is already dead. In her hand there is a broken charm with words, "Let evil be channeled in Ibi." That's when we realize she sacrificed her life for protecting Nana. The next day, Kaya is playing over the slides when her dad shows up to pick her up and breaks the news to Chi that Nana's mom passed away. That's why she couldn't come to pick Kaya. Later, Nana calls the school, asking to speak with Chi. When Chi gets over the phone, Nana tell her that it's very urgent and they need to meet in person. After which she tell Chi that meeting is going to be at Ibi Mansion, shocking Miss Chi. The next day they head to the mansion together. Chi gives Kaya her favorite drawing book so she can put it on her grandmom's shrine. Nana explains that she is gonna pay her respect to her mom, but Kaya's dad was completely wrecked from exhaustion. That's why Nana took her along. They finally reach the main entrance of Iba's mansion. That's when Chi spots both Mob and Nan, which irritates her to death and asks, "Why are you here?" Irritatingly, she says, "Why are you both always tagging along?" Once inside, she asks Nana that she understands Nan is related to Ibi, but what is Mob doing here? Nana explains that Mob have a deep connection to Kaya, and that at this moment she wants to accept help from anyone who can offer. Nan picks on that, immediately asking her, "Was your mother murdered?" She covers Kaya's ears on the spot because it's too heavy for a little kid to hear, while Nana tell everyone to follow her so she can tell them everything. Chi asks Kaya to play in the garden and she leaves. After that they follow Nana and Chi ask, "Does she live here alone?" Nana says, "Yes. When her mother was alive people visited her, but not now." Nan pick again, saying, "Nana is a weak shrine so no one trust her." As they are walking, Nana tell them that she isn't as powerful as her mom or Kaya. That's when they reach to a room where all the documented secrets of Eba's family is kept. And Nana says, it's a serious matter and she is open to share everything. So they sat across a table and she begin telling about the cursed womb, and explains that the core requirement is a pregnant woman from the clan itself, where the gender of father or fetus doesn't matter, because the spell transfers the fetus into the vessel for the priestess, but for it to work, a special umbilical cord is required. The family believes that priestess power lives within umbilical cord, and to activate it she must consume previous cords. Chi looks disgusted hearing this, while Mob gets excited. Nana continues, the longer the fetus stays inside, stronger it gets. Since she was born premature, her spell window was short. That's why she isn't as powerful as Kaya. Nan says, "You are completely helpless against the curse." Getting up, he says, this curse has nothing to do with him, and tell Nana to deal with her own mess. But then he explains to Chi that Ibi didn't die of any illness. She was killed by someone having deep burning hatred for her, shocking them. He says he visited her but she died right before him, although felt a certain relief seeing her die since she caused so much pain to him. But he noticed that her soul never left her body. Mob says, that's impossible, as soul has to leave after death. That's what happened with his own daughter. Nan confirmed that her death was not natural but cursed by someone genuinely despised them. He asked Nana if she knows who that person is. She agrees with Nan and holds up a charm her mother had made to protect herself. She realizes it's identical to the talisman Nana gave to Kaya, and explains that her talisman are just a child's play unlike her mom's, which were powerful. After that she tell them that the person who has been doing all this is none other than her younger sister, Kaya's mom, Mirai. Mob, who's visibly shaken, argues that making a curse powerful enough to kill someone isn't easy since Kaya's mom wasn't a medium. It's impossible. Nana explains that there is a way because the role of carrying a curse has always belonged to younger sisters born in Ibi family. She says that May is capable of doing it, And now it's been a decade, Ibis are thriving on the power of curses than priestesses. Chi says, so Mai is carrying a curse in her womb. Nana agrees. Nan asks, why doesn't Mai care even a little about you since you two are sisters from same clan? Nana says, it's because of what she saw happening to the other women in clan, because the cursed monster no longer takes form of human but takes the lives of the pregnant women, tearing the womb, and what emerges feeds on the lives of the people its mothers once dead. So in order to thrive the family, Ibis sealed the dark destiny of the youngest clan with the discovery of cursed entity. So the younger sisters were brainwashed to give up their lives. She then reveals the photo of the most recent barrier, her aunt, Yoshi, who sacrificed her life. The picture Nana showed to Chi earlier was of Yoshi. Yoshi was the best aunt to both her and Mai, kind warm, especially to Mai, who was constantly ignored by her own mother. When Yoshi was pregnant, Mai used to get overjoyed and wanted to touch her belly, but Nana, who already knew about that curse, stopped her, which irritated Mai. But Aunt Yoshi gently pats their head saying, if you be gentle, baby would be okay. So Mai touched it. We thought Mai never discovered about the curse, but since she tried killing me, somehow, she may have discovered about the secrets of all the clans. Chi gets shocked hearing it, since she has already sent pictures of Kaya to Mai, who now knows that Kaya is in Ibis mansion. When Nana and May was little, May found a creepy toy which she showed to Nana, but she immediately called out for her mom. She immediately burned her toy, making her cry because she couldn't see the curse. May kept crying, and when her Aunt Yosha asked her, what's the matter, May, did you fight again? She hugs her, after which she explains to Kaya that her sister and mother are shrine maidens with special powers. Everyone in the family are safe because of them, but Mai cries saying, she burnt my toy. Just then her aunt got her some candies, making her happy. Mai ate candies, and happily said that you are the best auntie. But the inevitable happened. Yosha died, and to spare Mai from pain, they told her it was a car accident over time. Mai started getting bullied at school simply for being an Ibi, because everyone thought Ibis were just some frauds. And when she told her mom that she doesn't want to go to school, she understood that she is getting bullied again and told her she will take care of it. But Mai snaps that Nana doesn't go either. But Nana tell her that it's for her betterment only. Mai burst out in anger saying, why am the only one treated so differently, and I am the only one dragged out of home to listen to terrible things people says. Her mom emotionlessly says, Nana is a shrine maiden, not you. That broke Mai, and she cries going back. Even when Mai was in college, she was treated weird. People whisper about her family background, that she is gonna wipe us out. Then one day Maya went digging through the family storage and came across the picture of Aunt Yosh. She grieves seeing her picture saying she miss her so much. Then she found Yosh's childhood health book, so she start reading it and remembers the memories she had. As she reads, the truth comes out crashing before her about the birth of Yosha's child. She realized that Yosha has been manipulated in believing she was useful for family, and all the warmth towards May was because neither of them was priestess. She came to know that Yosha has just been used to protect Nana. May couldn't believe her eyes. That's why she wrote all the detailed notes for Mai, so she can perform the cursed womb ritual with dignity. Yosha has written direct instructions to May that she will have to eat the umbilical cord herself. She throws the book away in fear and realizes that the one responsible for Aunt Yoshi's death was her own sister. She realized that only elder daughters remain shrine, but younger are just incubator, who goes through unimaginable pain. That's when Mai decides to leave the house with a complete hatred for her mom. Back in present, Mai, who's about to have the cursed baby, flew away from hospital, leaving the blood stains on bed. Mob is completely stunned hearing what Mai intend to do, so he asks his master, Nan, if he can do anything to stop this mess. Nan asks him, do you want me to risk my own life? Right at that moment, Nana gets a call from Kaya's dad that May is missing from hospital. Everyone gets shocked. He tells Nana that May has also lost lots of blood. She reassures him that she will bring Kaya back. Nana tell them it's time to leave. Kaya, who is playing outside, hears she asking Nana if it is safe to go back. She tell her that her mother sacrificed her life for protecting her. So now as long as Mai is alive, the curse can't be fully unleashed, and says that whatever it takes, we can't let Mai die. And Chi agrees. Everyone gears up to leave the place and piles up into the car. But then Mob asks, how exactly are we gonna save May? Nana explains, they need to deliver the baby while it's still human because if it transform in curse it will kill May. She says, that's why May left the hospital because staying there would have induced labor. Like what happened in Kaya's case, but a woman in blood will not go unnoticed. We will get to her soon. Nana rolls the car, but just then, out of nowhere, Hands appears on the windshield and she loses the control, slamming straight into Mob's car. Kaya passes out, Nana hits her head, making her bleed. Just when she looks up, May is already walking in front of them. Nana can't believe that May come there in this condition, and Nan says they should be relieved that at least she is alive. Mai walks towards Chi and Kaya. With a chilling look she takes away Kaya into her arms. She embraces Kaya like a real mother, and with a smile on her face, she thanks Chi for taking care of Kaya. But just then the demonic aura comes surging back and Mai declares that now she is going to finish off the hideous monsters of EB family, which includes Kaya. Chi gets off the car. She asks May, why is she doing it? May flashes back to the day she found out she was pregnant and wished to name her daughter as Kaya. She gets happy when her husband agrees. When he asks what if it's a boy, lying on his lap she says, trust me it's gonna be a girl. She tried to throw herself down the stair for killing herself, but Kaya was born, and she wondered that she failed, and remembers that she followed the instructions Yosh has written but still didn't succeed. Seeing her daughter, she believed she has just bought an ordinary life in this world. Seeing her play, she thinks it's just an ordinary family. Although it wasn't bad, she even forgot about her past and kept living normally. Until Kaya bumped in Mob popping something, but still Mai doubted it. But one day, while they were walking by, Kaya points to something, asking Mai, what's that mommy? Just like Nana used to ask. This confirmed her that Kaya isn't ordinary. Back in present, Mai declares that yes, Kaya is her daughter and she wants her life to end. She tries telling her that Kaya isn't the shrine maiden yet. May says that she doesn't blame Kaya for anything, but the curse that will be born soon will hunt down every Ebi clan, including Kaya. Nana screams, begging Mai to kill her instead, because if she dies the Ebi's bloodlines ends there. But Mai carries a deep resentment against Nana, tell her that Ebi only treated her as an incubator, nothing else. Nana tries to explain her that her mother fulfilled her duty by giving birth to two daughters. But when she witnessed Yosha's death, she was terrified at the thought that Mai will bear the same. That is why she built a escape route for her. She wanted you to leave and never come back. Crying, Nana says, mother told me everything but she shielded you. That's why she wanted you to hate her. That is why she sent you out there in college. She knew how hard it was for you, but still insisted on it because she wanted you to escape, so that she could find love and happiness. Hearing that Mai explodes and screams, she will never forget the humiliation she suffered. She refused to accept it was a part of the plan. The curse starts affecting her. Nana tries to get close, but a hand tries to grab her leg. Just when Kaya opens her eyes, May lifts her up saying, the family of EB will die, including Kaya. That's when Nan steps in and drives out the curse for a moment, saving Kaya, and gives Kaya back to Chi. Mob then tell Chi that there is a safe room inside the mansion and tell her to take Kaya there. She goes running. Meanwhile, Mai recognizes Nana branch family member that was expelled out. She asks, do you not wish for the same? But removing his gloves, Nana says, the day he went to meet Ebi, he said that now he will no longer be able to protect Mob as that would kill himself. As he pick her talisman, she wakes up. She asks him to show her his hand and tell him that she will cure it before dying. So he gives his hand to her, and she cures it, just by touching. She then asks him for a favor. Just when she could say more, she died in front of him. Back in present, Nan tell Mai that her mother gave the last message that she hoped both her daughters lives a happy life. Hearing that, every curse from Mai and Nana dissolves in an instant. And since Nan has zero interest in dying, he tosses Mob into the car and leaves from there. He says, this fight has nothing to do with me, so I can't risk mine or yours life. Although Mob complains that he need to save Kaya, but Nan races the car. In the safe room, Chi tries to think a way to stop Mai, because if the monster is born, Kaya will be dead. Just then Kaya holds Chi's shirt, and asks, are you scared? That's when Chi realizes that the one who was scared in this situation is Kaya, not her, and she remembers when Akira told her that she wears her emotions too openly on her face, and that kids picks this instantly. She tells Chi that in such moments she should just smile. So Chi pulls her confidence together and with a big smile she says that I am not scared at all. She takes her little hands and say, when Kaya is here, why would I fear? But Kaya innocently says that she made a promise to mommy that she will take care of the baby, and now she broke her promise. And that's why her mom got really upset with her. Chi then realizes that Kaya isn't scared of the curse, but afraid of breaking the promise. But since Mai is filled with hatred, she has no idea how to change her mind until she pulls out a drawing she made and shows it to Chi. And that drawing gives the answer Chi needed. Meanwhile, outside, Mai is still raging that her mom sent her last message to Nana not for her. But Nana tries to explain that their mother even changed May's name, so she never be used as a bearer of cursed womb. But May is completely lost it, and starts screaming that soon she will fulfill her desire and will die, and so will Kaya. She tries looking for Kaya, but the curse starts taking over her completely. And then, as a full-on monster, she goes looking for Kaya. She heads towards the room Kaya is, but since she couldn't, she gets out and search, but then she calls her out as Mrs. Sato and tell her that she came to talk about Kaya's future, and the monster turns around. She explains that at first Kaya was a lonely kid, but over the last few months, she made lots of friends, and that she has a bright future. But Mai screams that when Kaya grows up, she will become a heartless person like her mother, and it is her duty to kill such a person. Then she reveals her deepest pain that Kaya doesn't even see her mom anymore. All she sees is a monster standing before her, and she couldn't stand the cold look Kaya gives every time she sees her, and that's when she loses it. Don't underestimate her. She holds up the drawing Kaya made and asks if Kaya only sees a monster, then what is this? Mei can't believe it, and Chi explains that this is the drawing Kaya made at school. When asked to draw a person closest to you, Chi tell her that Kaya wanna keep her promise of taking care of the baby and that you still have a chance to live like a happy family. Chi tell her that she just have to believe on the future. And at that moment Kaya appears and walks towards her mother. Mai breaks down telling her not to come near, pleading her not to see her like this. But Kaya look at her mother in the eyes and says, "Mommy, I am not scared of you." Tears falls down and Mai begs Kaya to save her, and baby Kaya activates her power. With a little smile, she dispels the curse with ease and wraps around her mom, after which she gets in the hospital where her father comes running to see if she is okay. The next day, Kaya gets ready for her last day of school, and her mom comes down the stairs holding the baby, and everyone smiles as they are the happy family of 4 now. At school, Akira congratulates the kids and Chi gets irritated when she spots Mob there, but Nana tell her that he is hired as the official photographer and we owes to him as he is the one who called for emergency services at the right moment. She also thanks Chi because she is the one who calmed Mai down, so Kaya could help her. But Chi says that it was Kaya who did it all. She has grown so much in the time, and the pictures she drawn was the proof what she needed. After that, everyone gathers for a group photo, and Mob hit the button and Kaya transforms, flashing a smile. That's all for today. If you want the next part, comment next part. We'll make it once this video hits 10,000 likes. Also, tell us which character you like the most in the comments. And thanks for watching, you guys are the best.